Okay, we are going to talk about colored pencil application. When you finish your thumbnail sketches and after you've drawn your object or objects, cupcake, fish, whatever, inside your room, then your next step is to complete this worksheet. So this is a colored pencil exercise. So the directions state: apply colored pencil to the area of the drawing within the square. Color in the objects first with a light color, then layer a darker value of the same color to the outside of the object. Transition the darker color into the center of the object. Do not simply outline the object. Okay, so we have a whole drawing here of a room. You are only applying colored pencil to what is inside this black square. You'll see that I have applied colored pencil some areas outside the square, but that's just because I want to show you some additional things. That's all you have to do is what is in the square. Okay, so whenever you apply the colored pencil, you are going to have at least two colors. Okay, so for example, my wall here, I started with the lighter blue and then I layered the darker blue around the outside of the wall. Okay, notice that that darker blue, it transitions or fades out into the center of the wall. Okay, there's not like a line where the dark blue stops and the light blue starts. Same thing with my couch. So there's a darker purple and blue layered around the outside, okay, and it fades into the inside of the couch. All right, so when you're applying the colored pencil, first, you need to make sure that you are applying it correctly. So you're using small movements of your hand, you're applying it in one direction, and you're not smashing the pigment down onto the paper. Okay, so you're using a medium pressure, small movements of your hand, and if you want a more sort of vibrant, vivid effect, then you just layer over it. Okay, go over it 2 or 3 times to build up the pigment instead of pushing really, really hard with your pencil. All right, so what we don't want to see is big movements of your hand, okay, especially when you get to the area of the walls in your room. You're going to want to move your hand with a bigger motion because you want to fill those up really quickly, but that's not going to look good. What happens is we can see the direction that your hand was moving. Your application is kind of streaky, okay. We also don't want to be applying the colored pencil in a variety of directions. So we're going this way, then we're going that way, then we're going this way. Okay, one consistent direction. And we also don't want to smash the pigment down onto the paper. Okay, so back to our curtain here. I have my first color, which is the light blue. Then I'm going to take a similar darker color. I could use my dark blue, I could use purple, I could maybe even use a red. All right, and I'm going to apply that to the outside. And this is not going to be an outline. Okay, that's probably the biggest thing here, is that you need to transition this into the object. So as we're moving in to the space, we're lightening our pressure with our hand. Okay, so that it gradually transitions or fades in. Okay, I could even take a third color, so like my purple here, and this is just going to make everything look a little bit more three-dimensional. Nothing is going to be just a flat color. Nothing will be just a solid red or yellow or brown, whatever color you're using. Okay, so in this area of the rug here, I've already applied my first color, which is red, but another thing I wanted to show you is that instead of applying a darker version of the same color, like light blue and dark blue or blue and purple, is you can use the complement. So the complement of a color is the color that is directly across from it on the color wheel. Okay, so red and green are complements, blue and orange are complements, and yellow and purple. So Bears colors, Christmas colors, and Vikings colors. All right. Now, if you use a complement, you're going to have kind of a more natural looking effect. All right. So you might remember in grade school, or if you did painting in middle school, and your art teacher told you not to mix complementary colors. That's because when you mix complements, you get kind of a muddy, grayish, brownish color, which sometimes is bad, but sometimes it's good. So if you want something to just have kind of a darker value, use a complement, especially if it's something natural, like a tree would be a perfect example, or even like this if this is going to be a wooden entertainment center. So see how when I'm applying this green, it doesn't really visually read as green. It just kind of looks darker, like a grayish brown or something. Okay, so that's also an option. You want to avoid black as your second darker color, because black is usually too strong that it just kind of overpowers your first color, and instead of making things look three-dimensional, it makes things look flat. Okay, so again, you're only doing the inside of the square. Every single area is going to have at least two colors. Your first color, which is the lighter, and the second color, which is around the outside, which is darker and transitions in. That should not look like an outline. Okay, this is what not to do.